Welcome back to Studio F, where on Fast Times Willy B, we'll be reviewing Terrifier as we prepare for Terrifier 3. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell!
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I got Rosie back. Rosie, how we doing?
Pretty good.
So today we'll be reviewing Terrifier 2016. We've got Damien Leone in the director's chair.
Mm-hmm.
We've got David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown. Jenna Cannell as Tara. And we've got a bunch of actors that I think did a solid job, but
Yes.
didn't really know of.
Yes.
But nonetheless, we're going to review this one.
Sure.
And then the second one tomorrow. And the third one when it comes out.
All right.
But we're starting here today with the original Terrifier. The one that started it all. Not necessarily. You got All Hallows Eve, but
I guess.
this is the real start to Art the Clown for me. We'll start with the good. And, I mean, Art the Clown. What an icon he has become.
Definitely.
I would say he's this generation's horror icon. He's the top dog. I mean, there's others to argue for sure, but you know, the 80s got Michael, Jason, Leatherface in the 70s / 80s, Chucky.
Yeah.
They got all these icons, and when it comes to, you know, the 21st century, it's like
There isn't many to pick from.
what do you got? You know, there's a few here and there. You got Sam, you got Victor Crowley, but this is, in my opinion, the one. This is the big name. And not to say that those icons that, you know, started in the 80s aren't still chugging along anymore.
Yeah, of course.
We're still getting Scream movies. We're still getting Halloween movies.
Of course.
So, you know, we've obviously seen those icons still relevant today, but when it comes to created, Art the Clown has taken the world by storm. He is a pop culture icon. He is, you know, him.
Yeah.
We got the chance to meet David Howard Thornton. Very nice guy.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Would not expect him to be a maniac clown.
No, definitely a very nerdy and down to earth kind of fella. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Obviously, he signed our head. And we
His
got
head.
Yeah, his head. We got a picture with him, and what a dude. I mean, at this point, you couldn't even imagine anyone else being Art the Clown. It's his role. I mean, he is Art the Clown, and he's gotten roles here and there from it. I mean, he was the mean one, aka the Grinch, in the mean one horror movie. He had a movie come out recently called Stream, where he's also the slasher antagonist in that film as well. So, you know, kind of making a name for himself in the slasher genre. We did hear that he threw his name into the ring for Joker in the DCU at the con we were at. So interesting to see if that plays out.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Art the Clown and David Howard Thornton, it's an icon. This first movie, I mean, he's toying with you, he's dancing, he's smiling, he's doing the hand gestures, never talks, but there's a lot of personality in this character.
Definitely.
And then, you know, I thought we got a really good performance as well from Tara. Well, that's her character name, but Cannell. She is in Bye Bye Man.
Okay.
As in a supporting role, and she also is in a few other movies I've seen her in, but not a big name actress by any means.
Yeah.
But she gets the lead role in this movie for the most part. Almost 2 lead roles, because once she gets killed off, her sister kind of takes off for like the last 30 minutes.
That's true.
But nonetheless, I mean, the practical effects.
Yeah.
In a world where we are treated to all of the special effects that you could possibly get, it's nice to see somebody go back to the basics and use practical effects. And that's what you get with Damien Leone, and he's done it time and time again with this franchise. In this first movie, you know, you really get a feel for what he can do with it, and I mean, his direction and whoever was in charge of, you know, the practical effects along with him. I know he had a lot to do with it. I think he might be the practical effects like artist as well. But nonetheless, just, I mean, it looks so real, but it's so gross.
So gross.
But it's such a good job. When I was first introduced to Terrifier, my buddy said there's a scene where your jaw will drop. And I was like, okay. I feel like
every movie has a scene like that.
That's like how anybody gets you to watch a movie. So I'm like, okay, and I'm watching, and then that scene comes along, and I catch myself with my jaw dropped.
Definitely.
And that's the scene where Dawn meets her demise and is sawed in half, upside down, from her no square down to the middle of her head.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, definitely not a scene for the weak-stomached.
This whole movie, none of this movie, the second one, and I don't think the third one is gonna be for the weak stomachs for sure.
Yeah, but nonetheless, what a scene. I mean, this movie isn't like anything extravagant. It just takes you back to the basics and has a lot of fun with it. There's really no story to it. It's, we start with the TV interview at the beginning of the movie with Vicky, and we see that mutilation happen, and then, flashback Halloween night, and it's just Tara and Dawn, hungry, catch a slice, they meet Art the Clown, they come back, their car's tires slashed, and then from there it's hide and seek in a warehouse, and it's really, there's no substance to it. I mean, there's no, like, real character arc for any of the characters.
Not really. But they didn't have time to get a character arc. By the time we got to meet them and get maybe a little bit of a backstory, they were already been done killed, so...
Yeah, it just takes us back to the basics of a slasher film, but does it really well.
Yeah. It's very, I mean, no pun intended, but it's really, like, clean cut.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything, like, has, like... He's not just, like, going to kill somebody. Like, they usually have some sort of interaction, between the two of them. They have, like, a beginning interaction, and then there's a reason why he is going to end up killing them. So, like I said, it's well done.
Yeah, and it's really cool, too, because a lot of the callbacks you get throughout the movie, like, when after he kills Dawn, he takes a selfie with the saw in half, because she took a selfie with him when he was sitting in the booth, and just stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's really gross, but it's really well done.
Yeah.
Damien Leone, what a director. I love what he did with this movie. I was really hoping he would be at the con to get him on the head as well. But that's for another day, I guess. But what he did with this movie, the movies before it, and the movies we're going to talk about soon, just kudos to him. And yeah, I mean, really small budget movie. I mean, that's what goes into the practical effects. You don't have the budget for special effects, and I think going back to practical effects adds charm to this film too.
Yeah, I don't think I like special effects because it adds like an extra level of something to the substance to the movie. But like, I'm not saying it ever is, but like, this is something that could like actually happen. So I feel like the use of practical effects is better than special, because there isn't like a need for like anything super jazzy, because that's just like, I mean, he's a cold-blooded killer. He doesn't need special effects.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, most of this movie would go in the good. I think it's shot very well, edited very well.
Oh yeah.
Again, for a list of actors and actresses you don't really know. Not really a list, a very small cast, obviously.
Yeah.
I think everybody did their job well. Not really any music behind this movie.
No.
But it still works. Still works.
I think I like the quiet ambiance, because it just makes it a little bit more suspenseful.
Yeah. All right, so we'll hop over to the meh. I don't have anything in the bad.
Okay. That's good.
The mehs I have, when the second one came out, I was hoping to answer this first meh, and it's just, it didn't really, so I'm hoping we get it with the third movie. How he didn't die. We don't really get that answer.
Oh, yeah, when he shoots
himself in the head.
Yeah.
Well, loses an eye and loses brain matter, but he's all good to go.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't hate it. I still like.
Yeah, it
It
doesn't
allowed us to get a second one, and this was a franchise I do like. I'm not always a fan of getting a second movie, but this was one I was like, yeah, give me more Art the Clown.
Yeah, we need
so I'm not mad at it. It's just like I wish there was more explanation behind it.
I agree.
The other man I have is the lady with the baby.
Yeah.
We get some really creepy scenes in the sense that I put it in the man because I like when he scalps her and then is laying on the ground pretending to be her. I think that's cool.
Was she like homeless and living in the warehouse?
Yeah, but like the inclusion of her other than the scalping, I'm like, this just like...
Yeah, just someone
throwing
else.
me off, yeah.
Just somebody else for him to kill, I guess.
Yeah, and then the scene where like she's holding him and he's sucking his thumb, like it's just like, okay, carry on. It wasn't anything I needed, but I do like the scalping and the pretending to be her scene, so I can't put it in the bad.
Yeah, I would agree.
But that's really it. I mean, it was a pretty good movie.
Definitely. I'd agree with you. I don't think I have anything else in the meh. I was going to mention that, not technically a plot hole, but like that missing piece of information, like what makes him invincible.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Because he reacts to pain, but he can't be killed. So... I don't know. I mean, Michael reacts to pain and can't be killed. And
that's true.
So, just going back to the slasher basics.
But he has some sort of curse over him.
Yeah.
So, we don't know. Like,
we find out a little more, obviously, the second, and we'll dive into it more when we review the second one. But, the first one leaves you with some questions, for sure.
We don't know, like, with Michael Myers, we know kind of, like, his backstory. Mm-hmm. But, like, with Art the Clown, he just, like...
He's there.
He just appeared in 2016 in the first one.
Well, I mean, he appeared in All Hallows Eve.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So.
We don't get quite the backstory, though.
Yeah. Nonetheless, we'll hop over to our final thoughts and rating.
Okay.
What do you want to leave off with Terrifier, and what do you give it out of 10?
I'll leave off by saying that this is one of my favorite horror franchises, I suppose. Definitely a movie that a lot of people wouldn't guess I like or enjoy. I just love he's so personable, I guess. Like, he's so funny, just like with his mannerisms and things, which I kind of like.
Big personality.
Big personality getting thrown in, because like most killers are just like meh, and they have like no personality or anything, so I kind of like that. It adds like a little bit of charm to him, and that's how he gets so many kills, I guess, is 'cause, like, the first time the girls, like Tara and Dawn, like want to know about him, so that's why. So he's just like ominous but personable and has a big personality at the same time.
What do you give it out of 10?
It's gonna be a 9. There's no bad. We only have a couple of mehs, and it doesn't really knock down the score any, so...
Okay. For me, something else I want to mention is, as far as practical effects go, the jack-o'-lantern kill of the pizza manager was cool.
Yes.
In the scene where Dawn is listening to the radio feed and thinks Tara's getting in the car and it's him. Another great scene. I'm going to go 8 out of 10. Every time I watch this, you can feel the low budget at times. So part of me is like, okay, it's a 7.5. It's a good movie, but just the icon it created, and it's this generation's slasher franchise, and it's chugging along and making good movies. I'm gonna give it an 8. It's an 8 out of 10. It's a great film. I enjoy it every time I watch it.
Awesome.
Not for obviously sick reasons, but I just think it's a wild ride. The jaw-dropping scene still gets you even on rewatches.
Definitely.
But yeah, man, Art the Clown, what a guy. That'll do it for Terrifier. Rosie, thank you for coming on. Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, please check out some of these other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below, and we will talk to you all soon. Peace.
Peace and love.